Green flag is now in the air, signaling that everything is ready for the starting procedure to begin. He surprised everybody and he goes into the race lead. Fantastic start. So, there's a big crash. Around the outside and he takes the second place.
A warm welcome to everyone joining us from all over the world. We're here at beautiful Autodrom Most for round 4 of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. And we're here on the starting grid for race number 3 of this weekend. We've already enjoyed the 2 incredible races, one on Saturday and one earlier today on Sunday, for one of the most important Formula 4 championships in the entire world. So, race number 3, of course, is the one with a reverse grid compared to the race 1 results. This time the ballot has elected that the top 8 will be reversed, and so Genzer are starting back from positions 5 to 8 after finishing in 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, not just in race 1 but in race 2 as well. So our 2-time race winner of this weekend, Gino Trappa, starts from 8th position on the grid. On pole position we have František Němec just ahead of Hungary's Benet Gaspar. We have a very interesting race on our hands then because of the reverse grid. We only have less than 3 minutes to go before the formation lap. Czech Motorsport is starting on the 2nd row of the grid with Heidi Mimasi and Simon Schranz trying to fight for a podium and who knows, maybe even a race win. We're ready then to see the start of race number 3. We are ready to go to the commentary booth to try and see together who's going to take victory here for race 3 for Formula 4 in Central European Zone Championship here from Autodrom Most. And here we are on the starting grid. We saw the positions just a couple of seconds ago, and it is František Němec starting from pole position with the top 8 coming from race 1's results being reversed as the ballot wanted, and therefore it's going to be the F4 CEZ Academy driver starting in front of everyone. And just in 15 seconds we will be starting the formation lap. Watch out for Benet Gaspar in 2nd position as well, and of course all eyes will eventually be on Gino Trappa as he starts from 8th position on the grid, looking for that elusive triple victory a feat that no one has managed to do this year in F4 Central European Zone. That is winning all 3 races in one weekend. The driver who went closest to do that was, in fact, Bart Harrison in round number 1, taking 2 wins and a 3rd place. Gino Trappa went super close in the 2nd round with 2 wins and a 4th position. Yes, he has won 3 races in a row now, but likely going to need a 4th one to win all 3 races of the same weekend. So, we have started proceedings with the formation lap, as we now see, of course, Gino Trappa in 8th position, but in front of everyone it's František Němec, a driver that has struggled to score points throughout the season, but has a best finish of 6th in race 2 at the Salzburg Ring. We see now the cars going through the 2nd and 3rd sectors. These are the most delicate corners in the entire circuit, wanting, of course, to make a difference throughout the lap, especially in qualifying. But as now cars go towards the starting grid here in Most, we will be seeing who's going to come out on top. We saw a phenomenal comeback drive from David Walter in race 2. He's going to have to do the same here in race number 3. Same goes for Matilda Paz, who starts from P17 on the grid. Meanwhile, all drivers are now coming towards the final couple of turns, ready to take place on the starting grid. František Němec will be leading things off, whereas then the Genza cars will be lining up from 5th to 8th on the grid. Most importantly, Gino Trappa in 8th position after taking the win in the first 2 races. He's going to have to do a big comeback to do the same in race number 3. We're ready though, as all the cars are now on their grip boxes. The green flag has been waved at the back, and now as the lights will turn off, we're going to be underway, and immediately Benet Gaspar stalls his car on the grid from 2nd place, trying to get it underway, but unfortunately failing to do so. But it's still František Němec in front, as 2nd position now belongs to one of the Renauer Motorsport cars, and Genza already trying to gain some positions, and there was a contact once again with David Walter, as this time he is unable to come back from the back of the grid. Contact which has broken his front wing. He has spun and likely stalled the car as well. And this is going to be probably another safety car intervention, though Walter is able to get the car going once again. But yes, the safety car has been called out on track, of course, especially to remove some debris and the crashed out cars. And that is unfortunate. We saw actually car number 88 stopped into turn 1 and 2 as well, and that is David Gorčica, and here he is with the Orlen Yannick Motorsport car. Unfortunately, he has a broken right rear suspension, and therefore he won't be making it that far from 2nd place, and instead he is taking his safety belts off, unbuckling himself, and unfortunately that was David Walter completely missing his braking point and just smashing in the back of car number 88, which we see now. He's been instructed to stay in the car, as it's going to be taken out of the racetrack. Such a shame, unfortunately, for David Walter, as he now ultimately calls himself out of the running. Meanwhile, there's one of the Genza cars who looks to have a puncture to the right-left tire. That is not Gino Trappa, as He's recognizable by the red colors, and that is Nicolas Cortez, who has dropped in the standings. So the driver who finished second in back-to-back races is now to the back of the grid, as he's going to change one of the tires. David Walter has made it in the pits as well. Let's see if he will be able to rejoin the race. Meanwhile, there is the car waiting to be taken out of the racetrack, but it looks to be a quick and easy fix. Speaking of fixes, here is David Walter now being almost released, and now being officially released from the pit lane. Meanwhile, the front wing has been collected. There he is by the marshals. Always an amazing and brave work by them that enable us to continue with racing. Nicolas Cortez is also out on track, so we will be waiting for a comeback from both the Mexican and the Dane behind him, as Cortez and Walter rejoin from 16th and 17th on the grid. You can see Walter completely missing his braking point. He tried to go to the inside, but couldn't slow down in time to avoid hitting other drivers, and unfortunately the passenger in the crash was David Gorczyca, taken completely out of this race. A shame, of course, especially in this kind of moment, but his race is over already. David Walter instead moves on, but I'm guessing that the stewards will at least say something about the crash, because David Walter completely took car number 88 out of the race, and I'm imagining that a penalty will be dished out to the Dane, and I think he knows it as well. We didn't see anyone hitting him to send him into the back of the Křenek Motorsport entry. Therefore, there's not much that he will say, and that he can say whether the stewards actually give him a penalty or not. But in the meantime, the first 5 minutes have gone by. We're still on the safety car conditions, but we are aiming to restart proceedings from the next lap. Cars, of course, right now ready, and the number 88 entry of Křenek Motorsport has been taken out of the racetrack, which is a good thing because it means that we're getting ready for a restart in the next few minutes, likely to happen even during this lap. We're now towards the end of the first sector. As of course, this racetrack has been utilized by the championship since its beginning in 2023. Autodrom Most being, of course, one of the best racetracks for single-seater racing, not just in the Czech Republic, but in Eastern Europe in general, having many opportunities to overtake other cars and some fast, flowy corners, especially those who make up the second and third sectors, which you are seeing right now from the drone camera, from turns 12 all the way up to 21. That is the final corner of the racetrack. And here we see the different cars starting to make their way towards the final sector. We'll see if the safety car has turned its lights off, but judging from how the drivers are behaving behind it, it looks like they have, and in fact that is the case, and therefore we're getting ready to get things underway. And it looks like František Němec has already gunned it before the penultimate corner, and therefore here we go. back underway, and that is the Genza car of Javier Herrera immediately on the attack on Simon Schranz. Ken Herrera put himself up into second. He's gonna try, but Schranz will try and defend. However, he overshoots the corner and has to concede the position once he's going to come home, and that is the same for, I think, that is both Cortez and one of the Maffei racing cars, likely going to be David Walter or even Nikolai Drivdev, but we have to wait and see. In the meantime, in front, it's Javier Herrera who has moved into first place, overtaking Simon Schranz and František Němec, who's now under attack from Schranz himself, who's now up into second position. Behind them, Max Karhan and then Heidi Mimasi, with Gino Trappa stuck in sixth position behind the Canadian, which of course isn't ideal for him in his quest to find a third consecutive win. But I don't think that is going to happen if he stays down there. We'll see, however, especially since František Němec seems to be struggling a bit with his pace, as now he's under attack from Heidi Mimasi, who looks to the outside, then the inside line, and Heidi Mimasi is now up into fourth position. What is Gino Trappa going to do? He's going to wait for the right moment to shine. Behind him, Andreas Lobue, he's also looking good, up into seventh, and with a potential shot at a top 5 finish if he puts everything together. Will he be able to overtake Gino Trappa towards turn number 1, or is Trappa going to attack Němec? The second one is happening. Look at the confidence on the braking for Gino Trappa, miles better than František Němec. Of course, he's just learning this car as he goes on, the CEZ Academy driver, but that also goes to show how comfortable Gino Trappa is in his car. Meanwhile, Javier Herrera has a 1.2 second lead over Simon Schranz, with Max Karhan and Heidi Mimasi behind. Karhan looks to be very close to Simon Schranz as well. Can Genza do the impossible and climb into a 1-2-3 once more, and for the first time this season finish on the podium with all 3 cars in all 3 races? They were close to doing so back in Salzburg, but they missed out on the podium twice in race number 2 and race number 3. Third place went to Simon Schranz and David Walter respectively. But we'll see whether that actually will change today. Meanwhile, we see now František Němec with Andreas Lobue as the Swiss driver looks to overtake the Czech. Meanwhile, Gino Trappa now to the inside. Well, that is actually Max Karhan over Simon Schranz. That is the other Genza and Renauer duo fighting, and Karhan now moves into second position. Schranz is back down to third. The 2 Renauer Motorsport cars being recognizable by the front wing, as Heidi Mimasi unfortunately damaged his in the second race, so is running with the spare model, which is all in carbon fiber without the yellow color that usually is on the front wing of the Renauer Motorsport cars. So with almost halfway to go, it's Javier Herrera in the lead. Let's not forget that the Mexican is looking for not just his maiden win, but his maiden podium finishes. He's been in 4th in the last 2 races. The Mexican now has a prime opportunity to do so, as Simon Schranz is holding back Max Karhan, at least in this first half of the race. Now, will Karhan be able to make a move towards turn number 1, the gap being only 1/10 of a second. And now Karhan looks to have overtaken Simon Schranz. We saw it a lap ago into turn 1 and 2. Now Herrera has almost 2 seconds of an advantage over Karhan. We will be watching closely those two in the final few stages of the race. Now we are at the halfway stage, with Herrera gaining 8 thousandths of a second on Karhan in the previous lap. But we'll see what the pace will be like now that Karhan has clean air in front of him. Meanwhile, Heidi Mimassi is still in front of Gino Trappa, and crucially now behind his teammate Simon Schranz. Both of them have managed to step on the podium this year. Simon Schranz, as said before, was second in race 2 at the Salzburg ring. Heidi Mimassi did the same, also in race 2, but this time in the second round of the season that took place at the Red Bull ring. Renauer Motorsport constantly being the 3rd best car and best team this season, though thanks to this weekend Maffei starting to struggle a bit, and the Swiss outfit only had 30 points more than the Austrian team, so Renauer is looking to get a move on and overtake their rivals after only taking 2 points in the entire first round. They bounced back with 3 podium places in the Red Bull ring, thanks to the performance of William Karlsson back then. A 1-round entry for Renauer on the occasion. Meanwhile, there's also fights going on throughout the entire grid. Here we see, and we briefly saw at least, Rubicek with Bouquet and Chiara Henny. Meanwhile, here is Franziska Kniemetz in front of Andres Lobue, and then David Walter, who has climbed up to 8th position. Cortez is in 11th so far, trying to gain as many points as possible, especially in his fight against his countryman Javier Herrera. But of course the latter is now in the lead of the race, and he does not look like he wants to slow down at any point. He has 2/10 of an advantage over Max Karhan, and who knows, maybe he can get that elusive podium and perhaps even a race win, as we only have now 10 minutes left on the clock, as Javier Herrera moves into the latter stages of the race. He's gonna have to try and defend as hard as he possibly can if Max Karhan were to catch back up to him. However, so far that does not look like that could happen, as Herrera put 4 more tenths between himself and Karhan in the previous lap. Now the gap 2.5 seconds, with Simon Schranz and Heidi Mimassi working together to keep Gino Trappa behind. That could be a perfect strategy for the Renauer Motorsport duo, consolidating 3rd and 4th, because Trappa of course is now struggling to keep up with the Renauer duo, who's using DRS to help each other throughout this part of the race. Of course, we're gonna have to wait and see for the final 8 minutes and 48 seconds, but it looks promising so far for Javier Herrera. Could this be the day where he finally gets his first podium and race win of the season? Meanwhile, Gino Trappa is not done yet. He's looking at 4th place from Heidi Mimassi, Canadian, one of the brightest talents of his country, especially this early on in his career. He's looking to improve race after race, and he's been doing so brilliantly, I have to say. But of course, nothing beats Gino Trappa in this weekend so far, though he looks now to be a bit under pressure, especially given the fact that if he wants that elusive 3rd consecutive victory in the same weekend, he would have to climb from 5th all the way to 1st in only 8 minutes, sorry. Would have been very impossible to do it in 8 seconds, but I think that even 8 minutes will be a bit of a stretch for him as he looks to at least attack Heidi Massi for 4th and perhaps then Simon Schranz for 3rd. But apart from that, there's not much that he can actually do to attack his 2 teammates, Herrera and Karhan. Speaking about them, once again, Herrera looks to have gained quite some time over Max Karhan, which is quite interesting. We saw Herrera have great pace earlier on this weekend, but never able to convert it to a podium place. Could this be the day where that changes? It really does look like it. But before saying Eureka, you always have to wait for things to actually settle down and the checkered flag to fall. And even then, sometimes that's not good enough. Meanwhile, we see once again Gino Trappa following the 2 Renault Motorsport cars. Maybe he has to invent something somewhere to try and get them moved on. But so far, the teamwork from Renault Motorsport is absolutely key to be able to defend that position. No shot for Gino Trappa to get an overtake done. And this could be a defining moment of the season, at least for Javier Herrera. Meanwhile, there's a car, unfortunately, that hit the wall. It's kind of tough to understand which car it is. It should be Michalina Sabai, unfortunately, and that is at the final corner of the racetrack. Hopefully she is okay, but that looked like a hefty impact, though she is able to walk away from the incident on her own feet, which is amazing to see, of course. But that does not help proceedings. Of course, there's a yellow flag out on track, and the safety car looks to be out as well, as you saw from the panel, which will, on one hand, completely nullify Javier Herrera's advantage over Max Karhan. On the other hand, there's not much left in this race. A little bit over 5 minutes now, and then everything will be over. So if proceedings are not quick enough to get rid of the car of Michalina Sabai, we could potentially see the race finish under safety car conditions, which would mean, of course, that Javier Herrera would take his first elusive win this season. Here is the AS Motorsport driver, unfortunately with her car in the wall. Not what she wanted for sure in this weekend, but not much that she could have done there after hitting the barriers. It is a real shame, but sometimes you have to just learn from those mistakes, never letting them happen again. And that is surely what Sabai is going to try and do after this contact with the barriers. But alas, we'll still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. But given that we are only in turn 13 now, the next lap could be our last one if the safety car speeds are not that high. They're not proceeding slowly, we have to say that, but of course slow enough to let the marshals get rid of Michalina Sabai's car, which has crashed out of the race down into turn 21, and that is unfortunately not what she wanted, and not how she wanted this final race of the weekend actually to go. Sabai had scored points throughout this championship on 2 occasions, both of them at the Salzburg ring, finishing in 10th in races 1 and 2. Of course, being part of the Women Trophy as well. so far dominated by Matilda Paz, who's also in 8th position in the driver's standings with a chance of finishing in the top 5 or at least the top 6. However, Matilda Paz is just outside of the top 10, though we're gonna have to wait and see what the stewards will decide for David Walter and his contact with David Gorczyca at the start of the race, taking the Czech driver out of the running. Of course, Walter is currently in 6th position. Meanwhile, Gino Trappa is behind in 5th, and meanwhile we have a red flag out there with only 2 minutes left on the clock. It's going to be highly unlikely that the race is going to resume, because the time that would take us to do a lap under the safety car, the timer would eventually run out. But of course, we're gonna wait until we have official confirmation about this. The red flag is now out, with, of course, the red flag halting proceedings, and we just received confirmation that the race will not be resumed by race control. And so finally it is Javier Herrera's time to shine as the Mexican takes victory for race 3. It's once again a Genza sweep out in F4 CEZ, as the team has taken all but 2 race wins this season. It is a 7th consecutive victory for the team, and a first one for Javier Herrera, who also scores his first podium of the 2025 Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. Second place goes for Max Carhan, who is incredibly at his 7th consecutive podium, beating in that particular streak Gino Trappa, who stops at 6 as he finishes in 5th place, which is, bear in mind, his worst result of the season. And 3rd place goes instead to Simon Schranz, as Renauer is once again back on the podium for the first time since race 2 at the Salzburg Ring last time out, when Simon Schranz himself finished in 3rd place. And overall a great weekend and great race for Renauer Motorsport, as Heidi Nome Massi finishes in 4th position, just ahead of Gino Trappa. They were able to work together as a team to defend from the attacks of the Argentinian driver, who instead has to settle for 5th. But for sure, it will be incredible for Javier Herrera as he takes his maiden win in the series. And that is the final standings for race number 3. Here is also confirmation that the race will not be resumed, as Javier Herrera takes victory, with Max Carhan in 2nd and Simon Schranz finishing in 3rd, with the podium celebrations about to begin, of course. Let's not forget that Formula 4 Central European Zone has just started the second half of the season. We still have 2 more rounds to go. After the summer break, we will be in Orhova, Slovakia, as the Slovakia Ring will host round number 5 from the 22nd to the 24th of August. And then Brno in the Czech Republic will be the season finale this time. No Balaton for F4 CEZ in 2025, and instead it's going to be the Czech Republic to host the season finale in Brno from the 5th to the 7th of September, after the season has started with 3 rounds in Austria, 2 at the Red Bull Ring and 1 in Salzburg. It's once again victory for Genza, but this time it's Javier Herrera who takes home the honors, as he finishes in front, ahead of Max Carhan and Simon Schranz. Here is the final standing, with Heidi Memasi in 4th and Gino Trappa only 5th, though he still retains the championship lead with a big gap over Max Karhan, but everything will still need to be decided in the last 2 race weekends of the 2025 FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. Another lovely race then here in Most. Here are the highlights of race number 3 for F4 CEZ. And those are the highlights of race number 3 for F4 Central European Zone Championship in 2025. We still have 2 more rounds to go. See you guys next time at the Slovakia Ring from the 22nd to the 24th of August.
Tady v Mostě píče, bude to opět pódium s českým zastoupením, protože Max Karhan po 2 třetích místech tentokrát na místě 2. za jeho vítězným stájovým kolegou Javierem Herrerou na místě 1. Max je tady u stupně vítězů. Maxi, já půjdu rychle k tobě. Gratulace k 3. pódiu v řadě. Tentokrát místo 2. Tak kdybys měl rychle shrnout celý závodní víkend v Mostě a ten poslední závod si spokojený?
Tak samozřejmě to nebylo to nejlepší, co mohlo být, vítězství jenom jedno, ale určitě tady tím závodem jsme si vyplnili to, co nám chybělo v těch 2 předchozích, protože ty byly o ničem a tohle myslím, že bylo hodně zajímavý.
Ten rozdíl mezi Ginem a tebou zůstává poměrně velký, ale pořád si druhý v šampionátu, pořád 6 závodů dokonce. Věříš tomu, že ten boj o titul ještě bude probíhat?
Tenhle víkend jsem pomalu mohl začít ztrácet nějaké naděje, ale po tomhle závodě jsem furt v souboji.
Super, Maxi, díky moc. Max Karhan samozřejmě. Tak pódium nám začne za chvíli, až tady budou všichni závodníci. tady Javier. Hello, Javier. What a great race. Congratulations to you, the first victory of the season. So, are you satisfied after the race?
Yes, a long time coming. I think it's been a very difficult start to the season, that's no secret, but in the end just managed to get a clean race, overtook some people, and yeah, just never looked back.
Easy as that. Thank you very much, Javi, and congratulations, great race. Takže Javier říkal, že to vítězství teda čekal opravdu dlouho a věděl, že jednoho dne přijde, musel zajet čistý závod, předjet několik soupeřů, to se všechno povedlo a tak je konečně vítěze. Pojďme na to pódium. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the final podium ceremony. After the first race of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here in Most, and we're gonna start with the overall standings. In third place, please welcome Simon Schranz. Second place, druhé místo, Max Karhan. A pojďme na vítěze, the winning driver of the final race. Please welcome Javier Herrera. Also, please welcome the representative of the winning team. The winning team is CEZ Motorsport. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please show your respect to the Mexican national anthem for the winning driver. Mexická státní hymna pro vítěze.
Miami, bravo!
Mexican national anthem for the winning driver, Javier. And we are ready to present the trophies. The trophy for the third place goes to Simon Schranz. Trophy for second place. Trophy za druhé místo pro Maxe Karhana. And the trophy for the winning driver goes to Javier Herrera. Zároveň trofej pro vítězný tým. Trophy for the winning team goes to CEZ Motorsport. Congratulations to the top three drivers. So let's get together on the top spot. Let's enjoy the moment for the photographs. The photo first. Oh, the champagne first. Okay, guys. Vamos, Javier. Nice job. Enjoy the champagne. Enjoy the sweet shower of victory. Thank you, guys. Many congratulations to you. And now let's move on to Rookie Rocket Podium ceremony. Dámy a pánové, teď pódium pro kategorii Rookie Rocket, to znamená prváčky. Let's get started. Rookie Rocket Podium with our driver in third place. The third place goes to Andreas Lobue. Second place in Rookie Rocket class goes to Hadi Mimasi. And please also welcome the winning driver in Rookie Rocket class. One more time, here he comes, Simon Schranz. Congratulations to the top three drivers in Rookie Rocket class. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please show your respect to the Austrian national anthem. Dámy a pánové, rakouská státní hymna pro vítěze.
Sorry.
The Austrian national anthem for the winning driver, Simon Schranz in Rookie for the third place goes to Andreas Lomue. Trophy for the second place goes to Hadi Mimasi. And trophy for the winning driver goes to Sion Schranz. Congratulations to the top 3 drivers in rookie rocket class. So if you don't mind, let's get together on the top spot as there's a moment for photographs here. Thank you very much, guys. And of course, we also have the time for champagne. Oh, just grab the champagne to your team and enjoy. And the last podium ceremony will be for the best lady in the race. 2 ladies finish the race. So please welcome the lady in second place. The second place goes to Chiara Hennig. And please also welcome the best lady of the race. The first place goes to Matilda Batz. Congratulations, top 2 ladies. We are ready to present the trophies. The trophy for the second place goes to Chiara Hennig. And trophy for the winning driver in ladies class goes to Matilda Batz. Congratulations to our top 2 female drivers in the final race. So girls, let's get together on the top spot. Let's have a moment for photographs here. The winning driver Matilda Batz and second place Chiara Hennig. Congratulations and thank you very much.